in a rematch of last year's NWAC semifinal. Welcome everybody to the Walt Price Fitness Center here on the campus of Everett Community College for a round of 16 matchup in the 2017 Northwest Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship between the Whatcom Community College Orcas and the Clark College Penguins. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Nathan Murphy. Glad to be along with you here as we get set for a matchup that intrigues on paper. Two teams with identical 17-9 records as we are introducing the starting lineups and getting set to go here in Everett. The Clark College Penguins were just presented with the championship trophy for the South region of the NWAC. They won that with a 10-6 record in the league. 8-6 were the Whatcom Community College Orcas. That was good enough for fourth after winning a tiebreaker on this floor last Saturday with the Everett Trojans. They come in as the 4th seed out of the North, but as I say, both teams with identical records at 17-9 overall, and they met last year in the semifinals right here on this floor as well with Clark. With Clark falling to Whatcom, who then lost to Spokane in the championship game. We're just about set to go. Bill Draper, Bobby Holloway, and Jacob Burkhart are the officials. The starting lineups for Clark: Jordan Burney, Caden Ogles, Ozzie George, Luke Osborne, and Stefan Amantorp. Amantorp jumps it up. And we're underway here. Wins the jump, does Amantorp, moving from left to right in the black jerseys. That's Whatcom. Bouncing the ball is Clark up at the top. Tanner Clark gets it back on the wing on the near side, thinks about the three, doesn't take it. Tries to find a dribble, cut off there by Amantorp. Now he moves in toward the lane. Shot from the top of the key by Martin, rims out long. Rebound batted around and taken down by Whatcom. They'll get a new possession. Handling it up top is Tanner Clark. The Seahome product gives it to Doherty. Quinn Doherty thought about the three on the wing. Now he gives it near side for Martin. Finds the man inside. Turning shot for Lutens, and he gets it. First points of the game. Now advancing the other way for Clark. Jordan Burney swings it back out. Now on the far side for Neal. Sermon Neal tries to throw it inside. Instead, he throws it away, and it'll go back over to Whatcom. Early going here. 2 points for Whatcom in the early lead. Tanner Clark with the basketball, gives it on to the left for Anderson. Leif Anderson dribbles to his left, cut off there. Ogles on the defending. On to the left side for George again. Ozzie George up top. This is Luke Osborne. Tries to go inside for Amantorp, and it's taken away. Whatcom comes back to the right. Advancing ahead is Martin, and he lays it up off the glass. No good. And the rebound eventually cleared by Osborne. Lost the handle, but it's picked up by Caden Ogles. Brings it into the front court. Back for Osborne again. Left side for George. Up top now, a long three for Burney is no good. And the rebound falls eventually to Leif Anderson for Whatcom. Into the front court now come the Orcas. Back for Clark. Moves into the lane, kicks it out for Martin. Loses the handle in the lane, but gets it back. Now a long two from Clark on the near side. About an 18-footer, and that's good. 4-0 Whatcom Orcas. In the black jerseys, Clark in the white. They're the champions of the South. As I mentioned, these two met last year as a long jumper from Burney on the elbow is good. These two met in the NWAC semifinals on this floor last year, with Whatcom coming out on top, who only fell to Spokane in the championship game. Now a three-point attempt rims out from Lutens, and the rebound taken down by the Penguins.
Is he Lutens missing a tire?
That's a good point. He's lost his shoe.
Yep.
Clock's been running for a while now, a good 2.5 minutes. The Whatcom bench thought Amantorp traveled, but he puts it up. The other way. On the left wing, this is Ozzie George. 3 on the way, it's good. And the first lead of the ball game for Clark Penguins. Whatcom takes their time, and now we have a whistle. And it seems the official has taken mercy on Dalton Lutens and allowed him to replace his foot gear. That's a good stretch of play there, a good 3.5 minutes.
That was, and I saw the I saw that shoot go off and go flying in off over the sidelines there, right at the beginning play.
I heard you say that he lost a tire. I thought you meant that he fell down, blew a tire, but no, he did in fact lose it out of bounds. So back inbound, 20 to shoot now for Whatcom. Martin with the basketball. Dumps it off for Amantorp. He goes up to the hole and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
So number 20, Luke Osborne, that's his first, also the first team foul. Luton's at the line, he'll shoot 2.
One, 7-6 as we cross the 16-minute mark. For those of you used to the Division I game, we're using the 3 timeout format here at the NWAC, so the timeouts will come under the 15, 10, and 5 marks as a blocked shot, and Whatcom comes back with a chance to retake the lead. Leif Anderson into the lane. And Whatcom back on top, 15:37 to go. Ty Cleland into the front court, gives it for Osborne, and up top for Jordan Burney. Now Cleland will set up, watched there by Martin. Into the middle, Connor Burkhardt is in the game now, back up top for Burney, who will take the 3, off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound taken down by George, and resetting it.
My game's developed 100% since I've been here in the Bay Area. Getting to the NBA is a major accomplishment, but surviving in the NBA is a totally new challenge. The way that I see the game now is all because of the experiences I've had in the last 7 years. It's all been an amazing journey.
Welcome back to Everett Community College, everybody. 10-9, the lead in favor of the Whatcom Orcas. As we come back, just under 14 minutes left to go here in half number 1. And it's going to be Whatcom basketball.
That's his first 13. Martin at the line trying to convert a three-point play. Also, first team 17 foul on the Orcas. Tyler Cleveland, Lennon Schubert.
Every guardsman knows the call. It has many meanings, but when it's spoken, the message is clear, heard, understood, acknowledged. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Local farmers markets are a convenient place to get fresh, healthy food and products for your family. Lewis County has numerous markets that provide you with an affordable choice of fresh food products. Many of those farms are also available to purchase from directly, so you can take comfort in knowing exactly where your food is coming from. Meet your farmer, know your food. We make it easy in Lewis County.
Welcome back to the Walt Price Fitness Center, Everett Community College. Game number 6 of the first day of the 2017 NWAC Championships. We've had good basketball all day long as teams look for Just wrapped up her final season with the Orcas. Younger brother Austin, this is his first. Not a frantic tempo, but certainly nobody's walking the ball up here in this first half. Anderson still has it. Martin in the far corner. Gives it for Honeycutt. Backs in and turns around and scores. Austin Honeycutt with his first points. 26-21 the tally. We come up on 7 minutes left in the first half and a whistle. Foul called on the perimeter, and we're going to go underneath. Foul goes on Austin Honeycutt, who just scored, so he's got 2 points and a foul. Third foul on the Whatcom Orcas. Bill Draper, Bobby Holloway, Jacob Burkhart, the officials. 12 each on the men's and the women's side get to work this tournament, and they'll bring back half of those for the last 4 next weekend. Jordan Burney up top for Ty Clellan. Back for Burney on the right wing. Working it around the outside. Burney has it again. Now Clellan. Clellan a little scoop shot in the lane. He's got 7 points, and it's back to a 3-point difference again. Quickly on the other end, Lewis for 3, rims out. And the rebound's taken down by Luke Osborne. Quickly ahead comes Clark. Ty Clellan dribbles to his right. Lost the handle for a minute, but got it back. Gives it off for Ozzie George. Burney on the left wing. Now it's Clellan thought about the 3, gives it instead. Ozzie George drives toward the free throw lane. 15-footer, no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. 6:20 left in the first. Whatcom looking to extend a 3-point advantage. Both teams have had leads of at least 3. Whatcom led by 10 at one point. No look pass for Lutens, and that was a beauty. Leif Anderson with the dime. Lutens into double digits now with 11, and it's a 5-point lead for the Orcas. Calling plays is Clellan. Gives it for Nadelhofer and gets it back. Top of the circle, George. Left side drive, Burney. Leans in on the block, can't get it to go. Rebound taken down by Lutens for Whatcom. Throws it ahead for Martin, a little too far under the basket, and he did step on the end line. And that'll turn it over back to the Clark Penguins. 5:42 left to go as checking into the game. Kalian Hayes returns for Whatcom. Lance Nelson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this certificate to the Cleveland Court contest presented by Cleveland Trophy Team. Will Patrick Google please report to the contest booth?
Don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
You know you need a getaway when your laundry pile is bigger than the last mountain you biked. It's time. Go Oak Ridge, the mountain bike capital of the Northwest, where you'll find miles of single track without lots of people. After your downhill ride, swap stories and battle scars over a pint. Then stay and play another day. To plan your getaway, go to EugeneCascadesCoast.org/go. It's time. Go Oak Ridge.
Midland foul, number 20, Will Osborne, that's his second personal foul. Now 5, Ian Thomas picks up the Orcas. Back into Pickering, Humphrey, Jack Needlehofer.
Lewis has 3 in the game, and the new man Thomas will bring it up. He's watched there by Sermon Neal. Thomas, dribble shake, drives into the lane and he gets fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line right off the bench. We'll see who the foul's on. It's on number 5, that's Caden Ogles for Clark, his first, 6 on the Penguins. It's going to be an end line throw in, no free throws. And that'll be the last time in the half they'll be in the bonus. Throw in comes to Martin. Gets a screen from Honeycutt, tries to turn the corner, gets cut off. Back for Honeycutt, who will try the 3, and he knocks it down. Austin Honeycutt has 5 points.
$139 for the Orcas. One for Alex Martin. Henderson, that's his first team foul, number 4 on Orcas. Cleveland at the line for 1. Second personal foul. Now 18 fouls on the Panthers. Orcas in the bonus. Lake Henderson 1-1. Just under 19 seconds remaining now. It'll be a timeout for Clark. 30-second timeout.
Recruiter or log on to GoArmy.com. 18.6 seconds left here in half number 1. Clark has the basketball in the front court. Jordan Burney will trigger it in, and a chance for the Penguins to take the lead going into the halftime break. Throw-in comes into the backcourt for Clellan. He'll walk it up slowly. Clark will take the last shot. They trail by a point. Clellan kicks it off, gets a screen from Nadelhofer, drives into the lane. Shot's too strong, but the rebound taken by George, and he scores. And that will be the last action of the first half. So Ozzie George puts it off the window with the reverse. And that puts Clark ahead at the break. Clark 41 and the Whatcom Orcas 40. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with a halftime discussion. You're watching the 2017 NWAC Basketball Championships on the NWAC Sports Network and STSPN.com.
The Guard has over 50,000 wheeled vehicles in action. The vast fleet of Humvees, troop transports, and fuel tank trucks are always moving soldiers, gear, and equipment around the world, or delivering aid to civilians during domestic emergencies. Transport operators are essential in getting the Guard to where it needs to be.
It's the 2017 NWAC Basketball Championships. We'll take a look back at the results from earlier today. You can see them on the crawl at the bottom of your screen, but we'll read them down anyway. North number 2 Peninsula knocked off Portland, who was the South 3 seed, 70-62. Peninsula moves on to take on Tacoma. The 4 seed out of the Western region knocked off North Idaho, 86-81 in the second game today. Umpqua, 75-58 as the South 2nd seed. They got number 3 Bellevue, and Umpqua will play South Puget Sound. They're the number 1 out of the West, who beat Big Bend by 78-67. In the game immediately preceding this one, that came right down to the wire, Walla Walla got a bucket with under 3 seconds remaining to beat Pierce by a score of 69-67. The Walla Walla Warriors will get the winner of this one. We're at halftime right now. The Clark Penguins lead the Whatcom Orcas 41-40. As we take a look at the halftime stats, a lot of people have a lot of points to put up that many. Leading all scorers for both teams is Stefan Amantor, who has 14 for Clark. Ty Cleland right behind him with 13. And Dalton Lutens also has 13 for Whatcom. So 3 double-digit scorers just here in the first half. A lot of scoring talent on display. Both teams playing at a pretty good pace. And as I said, just the 1 point between them here at the interval. Folks, Olympic College is the place to pursue your dreams on and off the field. With 11 women's and men's athletic teams and numerous academic programs, there's something for everybody at Olympic College. Learn more at olympiccollege.info/athletics. Over there in Bainbridge, member of the North region of the NWAC. Their men's and women's teams play here in this building against the Everett Trojans once a year. And this has been a great venue for this tournament last year in this. A little bit of a change in the format this year, moving to the 2 weekend look, similar to the NCAA tournament. 16 teams here for the men, 16 for the women. They'll kick off on Saturday with a slate of 8 games just like this one for the men. Tomorrow, it'll be the round of 8 games. Peninsula and Tacoma, Umpqua and SPS. Walla Walla will get the winner of this one. And Shoreline and Mount Hood will play the winner of Spokane or Lower Columbia. And we'll take a chance to remind you that PSG Washington is a proud sponsor of this year's NWAC Championship Tournament. The PSG team of highly skilled employee benefit consultants is here to guide you toward making the best decisions for your business and employees throughout the Northwest. No other firm can match their unparalleled blend of experience and dedication to customer service. PSG Washington, we're not satisfied until you're satisfied. We thank PSG Washington and all of our sponsors for making this possible. Of course, GS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical bringing you the crawl there at the bottom of the screen. Lots of new technology. Todd Elvig, the producer for STSPN.com, very proud of his setup, and rightly so. We got the AccuTime hookup. We got the crawl down on the screen. The scorebug's looking better than it ever has before, and you're clearly having a good time there, Todd. He's not hooked up. He's not going to answer me because he's a wimp. No, Todd does a great job. It's fun to get to work with you again, buddy. During the season, of course, I referee most of the time. I work with Snohomish County basketball officials on the high school side, and I do work in the NWAC North on the women's side, and I don't get a chance to come and sit up here and share games with you folks out there, but it's nice to get this chance here in the postseason.
It is nice. I've got 2 things going at one time here now. I know it looks ridiculous. I should be on camera to show everybody this. One is the camera headset that I'm talking to the people down below, and the other one is you, yeah.
I'll tweet the picture out here in a little bit. Todd's got the double headset going on. Make sure and check out at STSPN and at NWAC Sports later on. I'm at Seattle Nathan as well.
That's the best place to go right there, because your play-by-play is just off the hook there, brother.
It's fun to be here, that's for sure. 90 seconds left until we resume play here. The ball's going to belong to Whatcom as we start the second half. The teams will switch ends, of course, as I switch my sheets here below me to make sure we don't miss anything. And I also make sure not to lose this and tell you to make sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. And visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. And, of course, these broadcasts are available there as well, right there on the front page on the NWAC Sports Network and STSPN.com. We're really glad you are joining us. Nathan Murphy bringing you the action from the Walt Price Fitness Center here in Everett as we get set to start the second period. Folks, the Swinomish Casino and Lodge includes 98 luxury rooms overlooking Padilla Bay and the San Juan Islands. Dine at 13 Moons Restaurant, which features the flavors of hand-cut Alderwood grilled seafood, meats, and the freshest flavors of the Northwest. Play over 800 of the latest slots, titles, and table games, including blackjack, craps, roulette, and pai gow. For more information on events and promotions, visit SwinomishCasinoandLodge.com. That's SwinomishCasinoandLodge.com. We are just about set to go for period number 2. Just 1 point between these two, and lots of points scored in that first 20 minutes, rather. 20 more to go in this one, assuming they can decide it in regulation. And we are just about set to go. As we get set to bring the ball back in, take a quick look at the rebounds. And this is an important thing. A lot of offensive rebounds. 8 offensive rebounds for Clark in the first half as they out-rebounded Whatcom 23-16. And that was huge. Amantorp had a couple of putbacks that were really important, to their offensive output. Anderson can't get the little one to go, and Ogles into the front court, far side. 3-point attempt on the way from George. It's short, and the rebound's taken down and cleared by Martin. Whatcom in the black uniforms with the blue numbers and the white trim, moving from your right to left here in the second half, but they turn it over. Taken by Clark ahead now. They lead it by a point, chance to extend. Bernie with the basketball. Has it knocked away, but collects it under the basket. Tries to throw it up, and it's blocked down hard by Dalton Lutens. He gets the rebound and throws it ahead for Martin in the clear. Martin throws it down. Alex Martin brings the crowd alive. Whatcom retakes the lead with the slam. And here comes Clark the other way. It's George on the wing. Tried to get it inside for Amantorp, and it's taken away. Steal by Hayes, and ahead they come. Anderson, corner for Lutens. 3 on the way, no good. And back the other way come the Penguins. 42-41. They trail Whatcom with some contact in the lane. No whistle for Osborne, and instead going the other way are the Orcas. Inside for Dalton Lutens. Lost the handle, fell down, got the ball back for a second, and diving on the floor is Martin, but he throws it away. Moving the other way is Caden Ogles. Pulls up at the free throw line. 15-footer too strong off the back iron. And a whistle. It's going to be a foul against Clark. Foul's going to be charged to Connor Burkhart. No, I'm sorry. It's on Amantorp. I saw 32. It's 23. And that's the third foul on Amantorp, and that's a huge moment in this contest early in the second half, as he's going to have to take a seat, replaced by Connor Burkhart. So Amantorp, who has 14 points and leads all scorers, has to take a seat. 18-13 in the game. He sits with 3 fouls. Ahead now for Whatcom. Lutens on the wing, drives toward the block. Watch there. A whistle and a foul, and his score. Alex Martin has 11 points. 4 of them already here in the half. And he's going to go to the free throw line. Foul goes on Bernie. It's his second. Second on the Penguins in the half. So Martin now with a chance to complete the 3-point play and extend the lead. Free throw's too long. Rebounded by Burkhart. Just into the game. And brought ahead by Caden Ogles. Near side, this is Ogles. Top of the circles, Burkhart with the basketball. Now Ogles gets it back, drives toward the block. Skips under, across for Ozzie George. Up top, Nadelhopper. Instead it's Bernie for 3. No good off the rim, gets his own rebound. Drives in toward the circles and gets the bounce. Jordan Bernie And it's a 1-point game again, 44-43. Whatcom leads it. 2.5 gone by in the second half. Off the bounce into the lane is Tanner Clark. Couldn't control it, gives it for Quinn Doherty. 12-foot jumper is good. And the lead's back up to 3. Tight going here early in the second half. Had it knocked away did Caden Ogles. And Clark will move ahead. Martin on the near side wing. Up top, Anderson swings it around. Tanner Clark gives it back to Anderson. Long 3, no good off the left side rim. Rebounded by Nadelhofer. And Clark's going to slow it down. They trail by a 3. 46-44 as we tick under 16:50. Connor Burkhart. Now it's Burney, thought about the drive, gives it for Ozzie George. Clark working the perimeter as they've done all evening. Jordan Burney. Ozzie George on the drive entry. Missed the layup, and unable to hold on to it was Martin, but it's picked up in the end by Tanner Clark, and he'll bring it across the timeline. Tanner Clark, hands for Doherty. Far side corner. Martin had it knocked away out of bounds by Ogles. 14 to shoot for the Whatcom Orcas. Checking back in for Clark, Ty Cleland. He did not start the period, didn't start the game either, but played a lot of the first half. See, they're giving him credit for 13.5 minutes in the first period and a whistle. And the foul's going to go on Jordan Burney. That's his third. So 2 starters for the Clark Penguins now have 3 fouls early in the second half. And Burney's also going to take a seat. Lance Nelson comes in to replace him. So some foul trouble for Clark now. And we'll see how the 6th and 7th guys respond in this situation. And that's not a good start. Tanner Clark left all alone for a cut down the lane, and he scores. And the lead is 5, 48-43. Front court, Ozzie George. Clark looking to cut into this lead a little bit. George at the top of the key. Gives it for Burkhart. Gives it off and looks into the lane in the hands of George now. Gets it back again. Nadelhofer right at the top. Drives toward the left block. Throws it up. Almost got the bounce and then got his own rebound. He's fouled, and Nadelhofer will go to the free throw line. Fouls charged to Alex Martin. It's his first, and the first on the Orcas. Not a ton of fouls in the first half. Just 12 between the two teams. But Jack Nadelhofer makes the first of 2. That's his first point of the game. Chance now to cut the lead back down to 3 as into the lineup comes Luke Osborne. Burkhart has a seat, so does Ozzie George. Second free throw off the rim, off the glass, and down. So he gets them both, and the lead's back down to 3, 48-45 for the Whatcom Orcas. Clark with the basketball. Gives it for Lutens. Whistle and a foul. It's a blocking foul, and it's going to count. Dalton Lutens scores, and he's going to go to the free throw line. And the foul goes on Luke Osborne, who just came back in, and now he has 3 fouls. Third on the team as well. And so that's the third Whatcom Orca starter in foul trouble. Osborne, Amantorp, and Burney all have 3 fouls, and Osborne is going to join his teammates on the bench, it appears. As back into the game is Ozzie George. 3 starters on the bench for the Clark Penguins with 3 personal fouls as they trail this one by 5 and a chance for one more. Luton, 76% from the line on the season, and he gets this one. (51-45). The lead is 6. That's the largest it's been in about 15 minutes. And Clark's going to look to change that with 3 of their starters on the bench. George is one of those starters who stayed out. And a pushing foul on Whatcom. As coming down with the rebound was Quinn Doherty. And who's it on? It's on Nadelhofer. That's his first and the 4th on the team. Whatcom ball, in the backcourt as Tanner Clark will advance. Clark from Bellingham, Washington. Gives it up top for Doherty. Doherty, the Alaskan. Alex Martin Looks to drive onto the right block, now kicks it into the corner. 3-ball on the way from Luton's no good, and the rebound is controlled by Lance Nelson. Clark moves ahead now. Ty Cleland pulls up for a long shot. Was a 3-point attempt. It's no good, and the rebound pulled down by Doherty. 6-point lead for the Whatcom Orcas as they look to extend. Tanner Clark with the basketball. Gets a screen from Luton's. Dribbles around it to his left, ran smack into Nadelhofer and lost the handle. And it's a tie-up. It's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow favors the Clark Penguins. And that's going to bring us to the first media timeout of the second period. 14:34 left to go. The Whatcom Orcas lead it 51-45 over the Clark Penguins. You're watching the NWAC Basketball Championships on the NWAC Sports Network and STSPN.com.
Are you interested in learning about a career in criminal justice? Big Bend Community College has 2 degree options. One will prepare you for transfer to a university, and the other will teach you the basic skills many employers are looking for in entry-level applicants. Many graduates have started exciting careers in law enforcement, corrections, and forensics. Students gain experience and networking opportunities through hands-on training with local law enforcement. Local officers, attorneys, and judges visit classes to share expertise, actively recruit, or help with fun campus activities like our mock trial and crash simulation. Students tour local prisons, visit courts and law enforcement agencies to see how criminal justice works in our area. We offer classes in a variety of formats to provide flexibility for our students, and our advisors will help you along the way to meet your specific academic goals. Come see if a career in criminal justice is right for you. Big hopes, big dreams, big successes at Big Bend Community College.
Welcome back to the 2017 NWAC Basketball Championships. An interesting storyline in this game between Clark and Whatcom. We didn't get a chance to explore in the open as we were trying to get the connection to work. Both of these coaches were not the head coach of their programs at the end of last season. Tom Rawlings was an assistant until earlier this year. Until the end of last year when David Dunham left to become an assistant at Western Washington. He took over the program. And over for Clark, Kevin Johnson was an assistant coach, as dropping that one through was Neal, his first points of the game, and he cuts the lead to 4. Kevin Johnson was an assistant until mid-December. As the ball goes off of a leg, and it's going to go back over to Clark. Johnson was an assistant under his longtime friend and head coach Alex Kirk, who asked him to come and be his assistant this last season, and then Kirk had to step down after the birth of his child, needed to spend more time at home. And taking over that program, Johnson leading them back into the playoffs, and a good one here in the round of 16, as moving ahead is Martin. 3-ball in the corner. It's good. Dante Lewis for 3, his first points of the afternoon. And they extend the lead out at 7 now. 54-47, under 14 minutes to play. Underneath for Nelson. Lance Nelson turns around and puts it off the window. Both teams playing with some tempo right now. It's a 5-point difference. Not a whole lot in it. Both teams scoring a little bit more slowly than they did in the first half, as Martin's going to go to the free throw line. I think the foul's on Sermon Neal. He doesn't like the call protests to the official, but he will get the personal foul. It's his first, and the 5th on the Penguins. So Martin will shoot a pair. He was on his way to the bucket when that one got knocked away. 13:26 on the game clock. And Martin's first free throw, no good, long off the glass. Quinn Doherty will take a seat for the Whatcom Orcas. Kalian Hayes returns to the contest. Hayes out of Bellingham High School with several other guys coming out of Northwest Conference schools and playing on this Whatcom team. Second free throw was good for Martin, and it's a 6-point advantage. Into the front court, Nadelhofer gives it. Ozzie George near side now for Ty Cleland. Neal on the wing. Back up top for George. Whatcom up by 6, but Clark trying to weather this storm. Remember, 3 starters for Clark on the bench with 3 personal fouls, as driving in is Cleland. Gives it for Neal. 15-foot jumper, no good, and the rebound taken down. Moving ahead with it is Clark. Tanner Clark, not Clark College. Gives it for Dalton Luton. On the bounce, it's Dante Lewis for three. Gets the friendly bounce. Dante Lewis has hit 2 threes in the last couple of minutes. And look at that, it's a 9-point advantage. Second largest of the game for Whatcom. Clark just trying to get through this stretch, is trying the three as Nadelhofer. No good short. Knocked it out of the hands of his own man, George, but George gets it back. Ozzie George throws it up, gets bumped, and he's going to go to the free throw line with 12:25 left in the second half. The foul goes on Clark. Tanner Clark's first for Whatcom. It's the second on the Orcas. And we talked about trying to weather that storm. It looks as though Kevin Johnson is going to bring his 3 starters back in. All 3 of them, Bernie, Osborne, and Amantorp, ready to check in right now. And they're joined by Caden Ogles. So the line comes back in, as it were. And Clark decides that it's gone as far as it can. They're going to have to try and stem this run. The first free throw was no good for George. He'll have one more. And he does cut the lead to 8. He has 8. And Ogles will replace him now. George gets a rest. He's been out there for a while. Kevin Johnson needs to get him a breather. I'm sure he'll be back soon. Clark looking to cut into this 8-point lead. Whatcom wants to extend it. We have a whistle and a foul underneath as Dante Lewis got bumped trying to make the cut. Foul goes on Ogles, who just came back into the game, and now that's his third. So that's 4 Whatcom starters in foul trouble, and that's the 7th team foul as well. So 1-and-1 bonus opportunity for Dante Lewis. The first one's good, and the next one would make it a 10-point ball game. Very different seeds, a 1 seed for Clark and the 4 for Whatcom, and they almost didn't make it as the second free throw is good for Lewis. But Whatcom's playing very much like the team that's the more talented side this afternoon. Handoff for Cleland. He's fouled on his way to the bucket, and the foul, I think, is going to be on Lewis. It would be his first. Nope. They're going to put it on Luton's. That's 2 on him. And 3 on the Orcas. Free throws now for Ty Cleland. And a chance to cut into this double-digit lead. 12:04 on the game clock. 12:09, excuse me. Honeycutt returns as Luton's will sit with 2 fouls. He is the only Whatcom Orca with more than 1 at this point. Both free throws were good for Ty Cleland, and it's an 8-point game. As we tick now up under 12 minutes. 3-pointer, Dante Lewis extends it back to double digits again. The lead is 11, and Dante Lewis is fired up for Whatcom, and who can blame it? He's got 3 3-pointers in the second half, plus a couple of free throws. 11 points, all in the second half. Amantorp comes down and answers. 16 for him now. Whatcom on the other end. 9-point advantage for the Orcas. Lewis lost the handle. Amantorp down there trying to pick it up. So is Lewis. And on the tie-up, it's going to go back to Whatcom. 17 on the timer. Ozzie George's rest has come to an end. He's going to come back into the game. And Ogles will take a seat now with 3 fouls. Ozzie George out of Evergreen High School in Vancouver. Throw-in comes to Anderson, and he lays it off the glass. A planned play, and Anderson has 12 points. The lead is 11 once again, 65-54. Whatcom continues to press their advantage and hold on to this lead. Clark needs to change something quickly as we approach 11 minutes to play. Amantorp turns around from 5 feet and lays it in. He's got 18 points now to lead all scorers. Tanner Clark in the front court. Hands it off, driving is Hayes. Couldn't get it up near the rim, and Cleland advances. On the wing for George. He'll step back and take the 3. No good off near iron. Rebound bounces around and is taken down by Hayes for Whatcom, into the front court. Honeycutt with the basketball. Gives it for Hayes. Tries the layup, no good. Rebound for Osborne. Osborne for Clark. Now it's Ty Clellan. On the bounce toward the free throw line. Had it knocked away, and Whatcom's going to move the other way. Slowing it down is Dante Lewis, and he'll give it for Tanner Clark, who will take his time into the front court. Anderson on the far wing tries the three, and he got it. Leif Anderson has 15 points, and the lead is out to 12. Whatcom 68, Clark 56 as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the second half, excuse me. It's not the third quarter, it's the second half. Turnaround jumper for Amantorp. Can't get it, but he gets the rebound, and he's got 20 points now and a timeout for Clark. 10:07 left to go, and that timeout will become immediate timeout. 10:07 left to play. It's the Whatcom Orcas 68, the Clark Penguins 58. You're watching the NWAC Basketball Championships on the NWAC Sports Network and STSPN.com.
Mike Marzetta from Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye Robotics is a hands-on STEM education experience. We teach the teachers how to implement the curriculum in the lab, and 90% of it is them building, programming, inventing. We want the kids to come home from school and go, wow, I did the coolest thing today, and they're thinking I'm having too much fun and I can't put this dang project down. When STCU supports learning, they're supporting our future. What's a better place to help the greater good than helping kids? I'm Mike Marzetta, and STCU is here for good.
EVCC trivia time, folks. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? Answer, we have fun with sports, live music, and more you'll never want to leave. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. Whatcom leads it by 10, 68-58 over Clark as Leif Anderson works on the basketball. Honeycutt will try the three, and that misses everything. Trying to save it was Hayes, and instead it's taken ahead by Ty Clellan. Slashes into the lane and loses it out of bounds. No foul, no contact on the ball, and it's going to go back to Whatcom. And now we're going to have a discussion. The officials come in, and we're going to change the call. So Clellan had thought that the ball got knocked away, and the trail official agrees with him. He had a look at that, and that will bring us to the under 10 media timeout. So with 9:41 to go, it's still 68-58 in favor of Whatcom. We'll be back on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.
The Guard has over 50,000 wheeled vehicles in action. The vast fleet of Humvees, troop transports, and fuel tank trucks are always moving soldiers, gear, and equipment around the world, or delivering aid to civilians during domestic emergencies. Transport operators are essential in getting the Guard to where it needs to be.
Looking for a challenge? Push yourself farther. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the United States Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields, and you could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to GoArmy.com. Welcome back to Everett Community College. The Whatcom Orcas, the 4 seed out of the North region, still have a 10-point lead over the top seeded out of the South Clark Penguins. And Clark, they only have 9.5 minutes to do something about it. Jordan Burney dribbles in toward the free throw line, curls toward the far block, lost the handle, off his leg and out of bounds. And this time there will be no overturn. It's going to go back to Whatcom. As you can see, the trail official in your picture give the thumbs up. I got the same thing. Nothing to change this time. Off the leg, say the officials. Bill Draper, Bobby Holloway, and Jacob Burkhart are the crew for this one. Congratulations to the three of them for the honor of working in the postseason. Alex Martin in the near side corner, now dribbles back toward the top. Gives it for Hayes. Kalian Hayes drives toward the basket, had a shot blocked off the glass, and the rebound taken by Ozzie George. Clark needs to score. They've got a 10-point deficit and under 9 minutes to change it. But they do have their starters back in the game after sitting for 8 or so minutes with 3 fouls, 3 of them. Ty Clelland for 3. Got it in a timeout. Oh no, a foul. So Clelland is good for 3. He's got 18 points, and we have a whistle. I think it's a rebounding foul against the Whatcom Orcas, and the foul is charged to Honeycutt. So that's his second. It's the 4th on the Whatcom Orcas, and a 3-point score, and Clark's going to get the ball back. So the first step in maybe trying to cut into that lead. It's down to 7 now, 68-61. Clark trails Whatcom here, 8:49 to go. Clelland with the basketball. He had the 3-point shot just now. Here's Honeycutt defending Amantorp. Turnaround jumper from 8, no good. Rebound was handled by Anderson, and he keeps it. Almost lost it, but he'll move into the front court. Leif Anderson. A little too high for the screen from Honeycutt. He'll try the 3 on the bounce. No good long, rebounded by Clelland, who brings it ahead. Clelland tried to cut around Lewis, and Lewis is going to be called for the foul. Looks up from the ground saying, what did I do? And I think he is the guilty party. Yes, indeed. First foul on Dante Lewis. The Marysville product, Lake Stevens High School. Played for Coach Mark Hine there. Lake Stevens played a couple of games here at Everett CC, but were eliminated by the Kamiak Knights in the district tournament this year. And a substitution checking back in for Whatcom. I think that's Quinn Doherty. And Lewis will take a rest. Clark basketball underneath the bucket. Looking to cut into a 7-point lead. Driving into the lane is Ogles. Timed it nicely. Got around the block attempt of Luton's, and he scores. He's got 5, and the lead is 5. 68-63. Just over 8 minutes left here in the second half. Driving to his right is Martins. Makes it to the block, throws it up, gets rim, but nothing more. And Amantorp controls the rebound. Clark had trailed by as many as 12 earlier, and now they've cut it down to 5, and they have the basketball. Caden Ogles, left side for Nelson. Back for Ogles on the near wing. Gets it into Amantorp, barely. Amantorp throws it up off the rim and down. He's got 22 points, and it's a 3-point game. Whatcom leads at 68-65, 7.5 to go in regulation. Leif Anderson looking to stop the bleeding for Whatcom. Dribbles at the top, gets it for Martin, who cuts into the lane. Now Luton's will try the 3 from the far corner, no good. Rebound bouncing, thrown by George, and it's picked up by Ogles, who dashes ahead. Ogles hands it back. 3-point attempt from Ty Clelland is no good. They had a man ahead. Lewis was wide open in the front court, and nobody saw him. Instead, Whatcom will slow it down, try and milk some clock. We're ticking towards 7 minutes left in regulation. Doherty with the basketball, watched there by Nelson. Martin will drive into the lane. Nelson couldn't block it. Long 2-point attempt, no good by Doherty, but the rebound is put back up by Anderson. He's got 17 points, and the lead is 5 again, 70-65. Front court for Clark, it's Ozzie George. Gives it for Nelson. Clelland. George drives into the lane. Now a near side 3-point attempt for Nelson. That's a 2, and it's good. And it's a 3-point game, 70-67. Under 6.5 in regulation. Twice in this game, Whatcom has extended and taken a double-digit lead, and they held it for a lot of the second half. But Clark has come and cut it again. It's a 3-point game, a 1-possession lead. Whatcom wants to extend Leif Anderson. And I think the foul is going to be called on Anderson as he lost the handle and then tried to knock his man down. That is the call. Foul on Anderson is his second, 5th on the team. So one more foul to give for Whatcom. Already in the bonus when Clark commits a foul. So just one more non-shooting foul, and now we have a 30-second timeout called by Whatcom. With 6:06 left in the period, Whatcom leads it by 3. We'll be back on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a Guard engineer.
The 2017 NWAC Basketball Championships on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network is brought to you by Olympic College, a great place to hit the field and hit the books. Earn your associate's degree and then transfer to a university, or slide into home and earn your bachelor's degree without leaving Kitsap County. Learn more at olympiccollege.info/athletics. Here in this game, the Clark Penguins trail the Whatcom Orcas by 3, but they have the basketball with under 6 minutes left to play now. Ozzie George for the Penguins, near side for Ogles. Now up top, Ty Cleland. He's scored 18 in the game. His teammate has 22. That's Stefan Amantorp. Cleland into the lane, a whistle, offensive foul. Ty Cleland ran over the stationary Doherty, and he'll be called for the player control foul. That's his first. It's the 8th on the team. No free throws, of course, for the player control foul, so it'll be Whatcom ball on the backcourt end line. Doherty draws the charge. Now he brings it ahead across the division line. His Orcas have a 3-point lead, 5.5 to go in regulation. Gives it to Lutens, who lost the handle. It was touched by Ogles, and it'll stay with the Whatcom Orcas. Just over 5.5, 19 on the timer. Lewis will trigger inbounds, and it comes to Martin. Gives it up top for Leif Anderson. Now in the far side, it's Lewis. He has 3 3-pointers and 11 points here in the second half. Out of bounds, last touched by Ozzie George, and it'll stay with Whatcom again, only 9 to shoot. Ball comes inbounds. Martin dribbles across the circle. Gives it in for Dalton Lutens, but he loses the basketball, and coming ahead now is Cleland. 3 on the way from the left wing is no good. Amantorp can't get the rebound. Doherty pushes it ahead. Quinn Doherty into the lane. Foul's going to be called, and Doherty will go to the free throw line. Foul's going to go, I think, on Caden Ogles. It is his 4th personal with just over 5 minutes here in regulation. And the 9th team foul on Clark. Doherty goes to the line. He's got 5 on the afternoon, shooting 73% from the stripe on the season, averaging just under 8 points in 22 minutes. First one's no good. The lead stays at 3, and now Ogles will take a seat with 4 fouls. Sermon Neal replaces him for what can't be very long. But the Clark starters, as we speculated, have managed to bring this game back. It's been a one-possession game for quite a while. A violation. The free throw was no good, but we have a whistle, and we're going to have one more. Into the lane early. In the lane early was Ozzie George, say the officials. Or maybe it was Nelson. In any case, one more chance for Doherty. He missed that one too. He missed all 3 of his 2 attempts. And now coming ahead is Clark. Ty Cleland gets it back. Near side wing, tries to go inside for Amantorp. Just manages to corral it. Stefan Amantorp looks to turn around, instead kicks it back out for Cleland. 10 on the timer. Cleland watched by Clark. Tried to thread it in for Amantorp. He ended up getting it back. Nelson's turnaround jumper is no good. Rebound Amantorp. Amantorp put it up, and he was fouled. Lewis the guilty party, and Stefan Amantorp will go to the free throw line. Second foul on Lewis. And it's the 6th on the Orcas. 2 free throws now for Stefan Amantorp, and that's going to take us to the last media timeout of regulation with 4:33 left to go. It's a 3-point game, and free throws coming for Clark. We'll be back on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
Yes. Welcome to Basketball City, USA.
I use my brain, open lanes to the top of the game. I use my hand on any man that would try to contain me. Use my feet and compete like I need to the death.
2017. Don't miss your shot.
Welcome back to game number 6 of the 2017 NWAC Men's Basketball Championships. A good one here between the Whatcom Orcas and the Clark Penguins, and the winner will move on to face Walla Walla in the round of 8 tomorrow. First free throw, Amantorp, nothing but net. Just a 58% free throw shooter, but that one was pure. Second free throw, chance to cut it to 1. No good, off the rim. Stay a 2-point game, 70-68, 4.5 in regulation. Amantorp has 23. He leads all scorers. Martin finds Leif Anderson on the left side. Back to basket, now he faces up again, gives it back for Martin between the circles. Alex Martin dribbles to his left, now drives toward the block, has it blocked by Amantorp, rebounded by Lutens, and he's going to go to the line. Dalton Lutens with a big offensive rebound, and he'll look to extend that 2-point lead. The foul goes on Amantorp. It's his 4th. He's the second Orca, along with Ogles, to come with 4, and he's going to be replaced as coming up to check in is Luke Osborne. With 4:10 left, Kevin Johnson's going to save his star big and hope to get something important out of him, as the first free throw is good for Lutens. He's got 17 now, as his counterpart Amantorp goes to the bench. There's been foul trouble all day for Clark, and it certainly affected that long stretch in the second half where Whatcom pushed out to a 12 or 13-point lead, was keyed by 3 starters on the bench with 3 fouls for the Orcas. For the Penguins. And now those Penguins trying to cut into a 4-point lead as Lutens got them both. He's got 18. Inside it's Nelson. Kicks it out for Sermon Neal. Back for Nelson. Thought about the 3. Tries to drive. Mid-range jumper from the baseline. No good. Rebound taken down by Doherty. Hands it for Anderson, who's going to slow it down. Back for Martin. Across the timeline. 23 on the timer. Whatcom looking to run a little clock here. They lead it by 4. 3.5 in regulation. Leif Anderson. He'll take an early 3. No good. Almost an offensive rebound. It goes out of bounds, and it belongs to Clark. Nobody wanted to touch that. They both thought they might have a shot at it, and both players were out of bounds. You could see the little shuffling of feet going on there. And
I'm not sure there, Nathan, but I think that you're not supposed to leave it hang unless you make the shot. Is that right?
I would only know about the rules, Todd, and I don't know about that. I'm a rules guy. Underneath for Amantorp, who just returned, and he scores. And a quick timeout. Stefan Amantorp has 25 points, and it's a 2-point game. Whatcom 72, Clark 70. 30-second timeout. We'll be back. STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Welcome back to the Walt Price Fitness Center here at Everett Community College. Game number 6 in the NWAC Championships in 2017, and it has been a great one. 2-point lead here for the Whatcom Orcas as they bring the ball into the front court as we tick now under 3 minutes to play. Dante Lewis dribbles into the lane, can't get the shot to go, almost got his own rebound, and instead it falls for George. George manages to flip it up for Neal, who brings it into the front court, and now hands it back for Ty Clellan. On the bounce, watched by Lewis. Near the division line, now we'll move it up slowly. 2-point lead for Whatcom. Clark looking to tie or take the lead for the first time in quite some time. On the top, it's Cleland. Neal, 6 to shoot. Inside, we have a whistle. Offensive foul on the pass and crash. As Neal drove into the lane and dished it off to Amantorp, he ran over his man, and the foul wipes off the basket. So Neal, guilty of his second foul. It's the 10th on the team. And a lost opportunity for Clark to tie the game. Whatcom brings it ahead. It's Martin. 2.5 to go in regulation. Martin gives it for Doherty on the right wing. Gets a screen. Lutens rolls off. They don't give it to him. Instead, it's Lewis. A 3 from the near corner. No good. Missed everything. Rebound, Burkhart. Hustling ahead is Ty Cleland. Long 2. His foot was on the line. It's no good off the rim. Tries to get the rebound, but the ball was on the line. And that didn't work out the way that Ty Cleland had hoped. Amantorp's going to return now. Burkhart will have a seat. Amantorp for Clark leads all scorers with 25 in the contest. 72-70. The Whatcom Orcas still lead it by 2. They led by double digits on a couple of occasions in this game, in both halves. But Clark has come back once they got their starters out of foul trouble. Some of them still in foul trouble. Amantorp has 4. Can't afford to lose him, and they might just have. I think that's Amantorp's 5th foul, and it is. As cutting in was Lutens, he got to the rim, and Amantorp has fouled out of the contest with 1:51 to go. And that is absolutely killer. And the officials are now talking. I think we might be putting this foul on somebody else. Nope, it's the 5th foul. The officials converts for just a moment, but that is 5 fouls on Stefan Amantorp. So the Union High School graduate will leave with 25 points, but that will be his last action. Dalton Lutens will shoot a pair of free throws to try and extend the lead, and Amantorp has been absolutely lethal. He's scored more than a third of his team's points. And now we're going to have a discussion here as Whatcom head coach Tom Rollins is asking a question to the officials. And whatever it was, we're now satisfied, it appears. So Dalton Lutens will go back to the line, 76% on the year. And the first one's good. 3-point advantage now for the Orcas, 73-70. 1:51 left in regulation. Connor Burkhart replaced by Luke Osborne. And one more free throw for Lutens. Winner gets Walla Walla tomorrow. Free throw is good. 20 points now for Lutens. And it's a 74-70 Whatcom lead. Under 1:45 now to play. Osborne gives it for Cleland. Back for Osborne at the top of the circle. Almost threw it away. Now Ogles will try the 3. Rims out. I thought that was going to go down. Loose ball. Having a chance for a second. Do we have a timeout? We do. Heads up play by Leif Anderson, who fell on the basketball and called timeout. And it's going to be Whatcom basketball, 30-second timeout. We'll step aside briefly. 74-70, Whatcom leads it on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
Lewis County is full of opportunities, especially when it comes to our food. Here, our farmers are growing food and making products that provide healthy, fresh, and tasty options for your family. Lewis County is also home to many restaurants that purchase directly from these farms and offer entire meals made with ingredients fresh off the farm. Meet your farmer, know your food. We make it easy in Lewis County.
Welcome back to Everett Community College, everybody. Thanks for being with us on a Thursday evening. You've joined us for a good one. Nathan Murphy here as Whatcom has a 74-70 lead over South #1 seed, the Clark Penguins. And Whatcom will have the basketball with 90 seconds left in regulation. Whatcom's had leads of as many as 12 in this one. And Clark got it all the way back down to a 2-point game at one point, but could not tie or take the lead. And now Whatcom's going to try and run a little clock. 18 on the timer. In the far corner for Martin. He'll try the three. Rims out. Rebound taken down by Burkhart. And Clark will move ahead. Heavy screen. Cleland has some space. Now he'll circle back out. Guarded by Lewis. Ty Cleland dribbles to his right, drives into the lane, and he's bumped. Foul's going to go on Lutens, and Ty Cleland's going to go to the line. Third foul on Lutens, and it's the 7th on the team. So a chance for Cleland, who's got 18 points already on the afternoon, to bring his team back within 2. 74-70, Whatcom leads it. 58 seconds now in regulation. First free throw is good. Ty Cleland out of West Lynn High School in Oregon. 4th in the NWAC in free throw percentage, so no surprise there. 90% even, and he gets them both. It's a 2-point game, and he's got 20 points. About a 30-second, 28-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock now. Clark isn't going to foul. They'll try and get a stop. Whatcom with the basketball. It's Martin. Watched there by George. Now it's Anderson. Anderson, they switch. Now it goes to Lewis. 6 to shoot. Lewis, long three. I think it was blocked, and the rebound by George. Shot clock is still on. About a half a second difference and a chance to tie. Ogles, timeout. So 23.6 seconds left in the game. 23 on the shot timer. And a 2-point game. Whatcom leads Clark by a pair, and Clark has the basketball in the front court. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion to this one on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network. Welcome back to STSPN.com's coverage of the NWAC Basketball Championships here in 2017. Nathan Murphy, glad to be with you, and this has been an outstanding game. The Whatcom Orcas clinging now to a 2-point lead, but Clark has the basketball and 23.6 seconds to try and find a tie or a lead. The ball comes into Ogles. Last chance maybe here. Ogles on the bounce, watched by Anderson at the top of the circle. Gets a screen from Osborne, drives into the lane, puts it up, and it rolls in. 12.7 to go, and we're tied. Back the other way comes Anderson. Crossover dribble, 6 seconds in the game. Gets a screen, three-pointer on the way. No good. Regulation is going to run out. I don't think that shot would count, and it doesn't go, and we are headed for overtime in Everett. 74 apiece, and 40 minutes not enough. We're going to play 5 more. Caden Ogles took the inbounds pass, dribbled for about 15 seconds, and then cut to his right down the lane, ran into a man, Doherty, who was standing straight up, and Ogles' shot was over him and good. 74-74. We're going to take a quick break on STSPN.com. We'll be back for overtime on the NWAC Sports Network.
Local farmers markets are a convenient place to get fresh, healthy food and products for your family. Lewis County has numerous markets that provide you with an affordable choice of fresh food products. Many of those farms are also available to purchase from directly, so you can take comfort in knowing exactly where your food is coming from. Meet your farmer, know your food. We make it easy in Lewis County.
in game number 6 of the 2017 NWAC Men's Basketball Championships. 40 minutes, not enough. We're headed to overtime between the Clark Penguins and the Whatcom Orcas. And this game has been absolutely fantastic. On a couple of occasions, Whatcom opened up double-digit leads. Both times, Clark battled back. But that second half lead for Whatcom was keyed in large part because 3 starters, Ogles, Burney, and Amantorp, were all on the bench with 3 fouls. Osborne had 3 also for a period. And that's going to play here in the last 5 minutes as the players don't get an extra foul. Both teams do get an additional 30-second timeout. Otherwise, everything is as it was. The jump won by Clark, and we're underway in the overtime period. 5 minutes to go. That third on the bug, it's the third period of a men's game. That means overtime, and that's where we are between Clark and Whatcom. Thanks for being with us here from Everett CC. Nathan Murphy, glad to be bringing you this one. Ogles hit the game-tying shot, ran into trouble underneath, gives it for Osborne. Osborne spins, shoots, rebound taken down by George as it was missed. And Clark will reset. Ty Clellan for the Penguins. A whistle. Do we have a shot clock issue? The officials are going to take a minute to figure it out. Clark will keep the ball when we come back from whatever this is, assuming we don't have a foul call. I think the officials are trying to determine whether the shot hit the rim, which honestly, I don't know. Either way, they're going to discuss it. 25 showing on the timer right now. I think it did roll around the rim before George came down with the rebound. And now we're going to send the players to their benches. I think we're going to go and review on the monitor. I don't know if we do have a monitor available in this game. In any case, the officials are discussing at the table with NWAC representatives as we try and determine what's going on here. 4 minutes and 23 left here in the overtime period. And we do have a monitor. There we go. They're going to back up our broadcast and take a look. And the officials conferring now. Presumably they've gotten the shot clock number they want. Okay, so what we're saying is 10 seconds were on the timer before, and then 5 more ran off to get it down to 25. So that would leave Clark with 5 seconds to shoot. We've now confirmed that. And that's going to be the situation. So it's going to be Clark basketball with 5 on the timer. Tied game here, 74 apiece, after the tying bucket by Caden Ogles in the waning seconds. And he will trigger inbounds now. Oh, no, they are going to put it back up to 25 after all that. So we're going to say it did hit the rim, 25 on the timer. So after all that, no change. And Clellan gives it. Nelson turns at the elbow, steps into the lane, tries to step around a man, throws it up. Luton's was too big. And the rebound is brought down by Tanner Clark for Whatcom. Clark for Whatcom into the front court. He's watched there by Clellan. Onto the wing on the near side for Leif Anderson, cut off by Ogles. Back up top for Clark. Tanner Clark drives into the block, gives it out for Doherty. 16-footer is good. Quinn Doherty puts his team back on top by 2, 76-74. 3:45 left in the first overtime period. Ty Clellan looking to tie it. 14-foot jump shot in the lane off the window. He's got 22 points, and we're tied at 76. Ahead we come for Whatcom. Clellan grabbed a man on the cut. Now a three-point attempt from Luton's on the near side wing. It's no good. The rebound is controlled by Lance Nelson. The freshman out of Amity, Oregon. Gives it back for Ogles from Newburgh. Nelson again. Now it's Ty Clellan. Ogles on the wing inside for Luke Osborne. Turns around off the window and scores. He's got just 4 points in the contest, but that's a big one. And a whistle, offensive foul. Quinn Doherty is guilty of the push-off. It's his first foul, but it's a big one, as Clark has a 2-point lead, and they'll get the ball back with less than 3 minutes here in the overtime. We've gone back and forth today. Whatcom led by as many as 12 in the second half. Clark brought it all the way back and tied the game with less than 10 seconds remaining. Less than 15, rather. It was about 12. On a layup by Caden Ogles. He's got the basketball now. Gives it inside for Osborne, then gets it back. Watched by Martin, tries to drive the end line. And now we're going to have an offensive foul the other way as Ogles pushed off. And that is his 5th personal foul he's done for the evening. A costly loss. He's the 2nd Clark College Penguin to foul out after Stefan Amantorp, who still leads all with 25. And he'll be replaced by Jordan Burney, who has 3. So those fouls have come back to haunt the Clark Penguins here in the late second half and in the overtime. Tanner Clark with the basketball for Whatcom. Anderson drives into the lane, loses the handle, and a whistle. And I think play's been stopped for the injured man in the lane. And that's Quinn Doherty. A foul has not been called on this play. Quinn Doherty getting up off the deck. Coaches weren't beckoned onto the floor, so Doherty permitted to stay, and it looks as though he'll do so. Substitution now. I think Doherty's going to depart. Kalian Hayes, from Bellingham. He'll return. And a change also for Clark as Connor Burkhart will come back in. Osborne will take a rest. Inbounds for Whatcom. They trail by a pair. Luton's on the wing. Thinks about the drive. Watched by Burkhart. Luton's into the lane. Can't get the bounce. Put back up by Martins. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Alex Martin has a chance to tie the game. And the foul's going to be charged to Burkhart. It's his first. Alex Martin, freshman from Bellingham, Meridian High School. Got the chance to tie the game. First one's on the way, and it's no good. Bounces off the rim. Martin, a 73% free throw shooter on the year. He's got 12 points today. That would have been a big one. Whatcom trails Clark by 2. 2 minutes, 21 left in overtime. A round of 16 matchup here in the NWAC Championships. Winner gets Walla Walla tomorrow. Second free throw for Martin is good. And it's a 1-point game, 78-77. Clark holds the lead. Under 2:15 now in the overtime period. Jordan Burney with the basketball. Hands it for Cleland. Watched loosely by Clark. Osborne back to basket. Now it's Cleland again. Got a holding count on him. Puts it on the deck. Watched by Clark on the bounce. Tries to get around to his left. Ducks into the lane. Puts it up off the window. No good. Rebound batted around, taken down by Alex Martin for Whatcom. He'll push it ahead. Martin into the lane, drives to the basket, and he scores. Alex Martin lays it off the window. Under 2.5, or almost almost down to 1.5 to go now in the period. Overtime between Whatcom and Clark. Ty Cleland with the basketball. His team trails by a point. Gives it for George. Cleland on the left side. Dumps it in for Osborne. Osborne trying to back down Luton's, threw it up, didn't get a call. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Minute 15 to go. Whatcom leads by a point, 79-78. Front court, this is Tanner Clark. Dribbles to his left. His Orcas lead by 1. Clark dumps it inside for Luton's. His shot is affected, but not enough. Dalton Luton's has 22, and it's a 3-point game. Ty Cleland for Clark. 51 seconds on the game clock, 20 on the timer. Nelson, left side for George, top of the circle, Cleland. Now Burney, 3-point attempt on the way, no good, long off the rim, and the rebound taken down by Luton's. Only about a 3-second difference. I think Clark has to foul, and they think so also. Foul's going to go on Osborne, it's his 4th. And 2 free throws coming for Tanner Clark. 33.8, so a 3.8 second difference between the game and shot clocks if we start it right away. And it's going to be 2 free throws for Tanner Clark. It's a 3-point lead already for Whatcom, and this could make it a 2-possession game. Whatcom looked to have had this put away in the second half and couldn't hold on to a double-digit lead. Now they're looking to extend their modest 3-point-1, and the first free throw rims out. Tanner Clark shooting 79% from the line this year. He's got 4 in the game, and that one's no good. Second free throw on the way. This one's good, and it's a 4-point game. And a timeout's been called by the Whatcom Orcas, a full timeout. So we're going to step aside. Whatcom leads 82-78 over Clark in overtime. You're watching the NWAC Basketball Championships on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
We believe in investing in our future, one built with dedicated, skilled, and hardworking people. And with the new career and technical education facility at North Idaho College, the future is bright. Today's students are tomorrow's workforce, and North Idaho College's career and technical education program will provide the training that will get you the job. Together, let's build the future. North Idaho College. Start here, go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Walt Price Fitness Center at Everett CC. Whatcom leads by 4 over Clark, and Clark needs to do something quickly. Bernie with the basketball, looking to cut into this 4-point lead. His layup is no good. Chasing down the rebound is Martin for Whatcom, and he's fouled. And it looks like Whatcom may hang on to this one as a chance to extend the advantage for Alex Martin. The foul goes on Nelson. It's his first. But Jordan Burney couldn't do anything with the basketball. Got into the lane and put it up short. And a chance to extend from 4 for Whatcom as Martin goes to the line. 73% free throw shooter on the year. First one's no good off the back iron. He's got one more coming. This would make it a 5-point game. Right now it's 4, 82-78. Whatcom has led by double digits in the second half. Couldn't hold it. He missed both free throws. Still a 4-point game. Under 17 to go. Hurrying ahead is Cleland. Cuts into the lane, throws it up, no good. Rebound Martin. Gets it over for Anderson. They're going to get this into the front court, and a foul. That was a hard one. Bernie came over and he got Tanner Clark around the neck. It's going to be the 4th foul on Bernie. 2 free throws coming. Tanner Clark has a chance to extend the 4-point advantage, but it would take, even if he missed them both, it would take very quick work by Clark to come back from this. So the 17-9 Penguins would fall to 17-10 despite the NWAC South Championship. If they can't come up with a miracle, this would be the end of their 2017 campaign. But this is the 3rd consecutive free throw missed by Whatcom, and the 4th out of 5, and one more now for Clark. Second free throw on the way. He missed that one too, but he got his own rebound. And a whistle and a foul. Or no, we're calling a held ball, but it favors Whatcom either way. 6.2 seconds left in overtime. And it really would take a miracle at this point of the game. Whatcom will throw it inbounds. 82-78, the Orcas lead. Comes inbounds and a whistle away from the basketball. No shot. Getting knocked down, I think, was Tanner Clark. Or no, that's Leif Anderson. Cleland was the man who committed the foul, and the officials are going to discuss this one. It was away from the ball. I didn't look. And now a little bit of jawing. The officials come in and separate. Make sure that nothing worse than the foul happens. And now the officials are going to send everybody to their benches. Leif Anderson will be the free throw shooter. And the officials are going to take a discussion here at least, and they may go to the monitor and take a look. Leif Anderson got taken down by Ty Cleland away from the basketball as they were throwing it in. Tanner Clark had just caught it and was going to lay it up. They're not going to say that basket counts. But they are assumably discussing whether there's going to be a flagrant one foul called on this play. It would be a live ball foul. 6.2 seconds remaining. Whatcom leads it 82-78 over the Clark Penguins. And now the officials are going to go and look at the monitor. So we're going to have a short delay here rather, as the officials go and review this one. Fortunately, we don't have the capability of going that far back to show you on the broadcast, but on YouTube, you're actually able to back it up yourself if you want to take a look and then use the live button to come back. Feel free to conduct your own review of the play. Whatcom 17-9, the same record coming into this one as Clark had, but they only finished fourth, as we mentioned in the open. They needed a tiebreaker game victory on this floor over the Everett Trojans just to get here. But now, barring something absolutely wacky, they're going to advance. They have a 4-point lead with some free throws coming and maybe the ball after that. And just 6.2 seconds remaining. Officials still conducting their review here. The monitor proved to be a help last year in the NWAC championship game on the women's side. And it's been brought back for every game here in the 2017 championships. We're glad that our broadcast able to be useful to the officials working in the Northwest Officials Group under Mark Cook, Division I referee, West Coast Conference. He worked in the tournament this year down there. And we are going to call a flagrant one foul. It goes on Ty Cleland. It's his second, and it's a flagrant one foul for the contact on Leif Anderson. So he's going to have 2 free throws. And then the ball is going to go back to Whatcom with 6.2 seconds left in this game. The officials now explaining the situation to Tom Rawlings and Kevin Johnson. As we mentioned, the crew, Bill Draper, Bobby Holloway, and Jacob Burkhart. And now we're going to shoot the free throws. It's going to be Anderson, I believe, who was the man taken down. And yes, that is who they're saying is going to shoot. So he'll shoot a pair of free throws. And then the ball is going to go back to Whatcom near the spot of the foul, which should be 28 feet on the sideline on near the table. But even if he misses both free throws, it would take quite a result for Clark to come back in this game. He makes the first one, does Anderson. 18-point advantage now. Second one on the way, and it's no good, rims out. But it's a 5-point advantage, 83-78. And now it's going to be Whatcom basketball on the sideline right in front of the scorer's table. Martin to bring it inbounds, 6 seconds to go. Gets it in, knocked out of bounds by Bernie, and a throw into Whatcom again at 28 feet. Still 6.2, they're saying no time ran off. Inbounds from Martin, and we're going to have another foul. This time Hayes is going to go to the line, and Nelson is the guilty party. It's his second. And Hayes will go to the line. 2 more free throws. Whatcom leads by 5, 83-78. The fourth place team tied for the third place, but they had to win that tiebreaker game against fifth place Everett from the NWAC North, looking to knock off the top seed out of the South region. Assuming they hang on, Whatcom will advance to play Walla Walla tomorrow in game number 11 here at 6 p.m. Second free throw on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Ozzie George. 2 seconds and 1. And that's the end of the basketball game. The final score, the Whatcom Orcas 84 and the Clark Penguins 78. So Whatcom moves on. They'll play Walla Walla tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can catch that right here along with every game in the 2017 NWAC Championship Tournament on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network. For Todd Elvig, the producer, I'm Nathan Murphy saying so long from the Walt Price Fitness Center. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the final 2 games of the evening. Tom Lafferty and the North Sound 1380 crew will join you for those 2. First, it'll be Shoreline and Mount Hood at 8 o'clock, and then Spokane and Lower Columbia in the late game. We hope you'll join us for those. In the meantime, so long, everybody. Have a great evening.